Guys, today's video is going to be really interesting for me because I'm stepping out of the house very shortly after almost 3 months, and this is really a bizarre feeling for me. It's very overwhelming. I haven't stepped out of the house in almost 3 months, especially since the lockdown started in mid-March. I called for all my groceries back here at home, have it home delivered, so I haven't even stepped out of my doorstep, so not even into my elevator, not even to, and today, now that the lockdown restrictions have been eased and we are allowed to go out to walk in the neighborhood, I've decided to finally step out. And I think I have to say that it's feeling really strange for me because never before has one ever had this experience of just being locked in the house. I mean, you're locked in the house for a couple of days. If you're ill, the longest I've been in the house is like one and a half months. But like for 3 months like this, where you cannot even step out into the building, is something completely bizarre and surreal for me. So this has been my view pretty much every evening. I've sat on my window and quite appreciated and watched the world go by. It's also given me a sense of perspective to what people who are immobile or people who are stranded somewhere or who are, you know, not able to step out of their homes for whatever reason, what it must be feeling like. And you know, it's really put things into perspective, given me time to think about life and everything. Because before this, I was literally out of the house every waking moment of the day, running here, running there, traveling, events, everything. And for someone like me who's been so active, taking a flight every second day, running around, going for events every night, to be stranded in the house is something really, really strange for me. So I'm going to actually put on a pair of shoes and step out into my neighborhood. So come join me. Guys, I never thought the day would come where I would actually be saying this. It's actually a big moment. I'm putting on a pair of shoes after almost 3 months. And as I was saying, it makes you reflect on a lot of things. Like, I can't believe I have not put my feet into a pair of shoes in 3 months. This is like the most bizarre feeling ever. And I don't know how I'm going to react when I go down. Actually, it's going to be this sense of liberation, but already wearing shoes. Now, you guys know how much I love my shoes, and slipping into a nice pair of shoes is already something that I love so much. And yep, that's part of the journey. And next step, now to put on my mask. Let's go on and see. We've got to adjust to the new normal. So this is how I'm going to actually get equipped to go for my evening walk, which was previously always all those fancy gym clothes and everything, and now this is my evening walk essential. So guys, it's finally time for me to actually step out of the house after 3 months. Let's do this. Okay, so I've got my mask on. I've got this little device that I'm gonna touch the lift buttons with, so I don't have to touch anything. Okay, I have not walked into my building car landing for so long. Ooh, what does it feel like to be in an elevator? Let's step into the elevator. So, I am finally out after almost 3 months, and it feels absolutely amazing. And it's a beautiful evening. Too bad I can't breathe this in entirely, but okay, now time to step onto the street. Okay guys, so I'm wondering how I feel, what's going on in my head right now. While it might come across as a little trivial to a lot of you, it's really like very, very overwhelming right now. It's a very strange feeling, the fact that I'm on my own street right now, where I literally go 5 times a day after so long, and I'm actually seeing what life is outside after being stuck at home. My street looks completely deserted. As you can see, there's literally no one behind me, and the occasional car that passes, but yep, it's pretty much deserted from what you can see. You can see there's literally no one on the streets, and this is like 6:30 in the evening, where there would ideally be a traffic jam on this. It feels so strange. It's like as though the city has suddenly like stopped in its tracks and lost all its inhabitants, straight out of some sort of movie. I don't know what to make of it. everything seems so quiet, and it's almost like growing up as a Bombayite, as a proper city boy from Bandra, it's almost intimidating, and it's a very kind of disturbing feeling to actually think of my own city like this, you know, completely deserted. That's the feeling that's going on in my head right now. So those of you who have actually been following my posts will see that I post very regularly about Neelam, which is the food store and the grocery store of my neighborhood, where I literally come a couple of times a week, and it's so packed. Usually it's buzzing, there's food counters outside, and there's usually so much fun happening, and as you can see, it's just shuttered. There is nothing, no one going on. I think they usually open just during the day, very limited resources, and just for a couple of hours a day, but for now it's closed. So behind me is the Khar Gymkhana, which is like a sports complex, which is usually quite packed with people always coming in the evening for the gym, for tennis, and it's always usually buzzing. As you can see, the empty tennis courts behind me, and there's no one. There's a pool up there, there are tennis courts right here, and right now no one's there. So one thing I really want to highlight is the feeling of walking. Now this might appear really strange to some of you guys, but I haven't walked technically for 3 months. I've just been in literally the four walls of my house, and while I've been active in the house doing housework, it does not really amount to walking. So I don't think I was getting even like 500 steps a day. I should actually check my records, but now I can actually literally feel my legs as much weaker, and I can feel the strain of actually walking, because I've been walking for the last, say, 20 minutes around, and I have to say that my legs are not used to it. It's feeling a bit strange. So just to give you a glimpse of what things are like behind, as you can see, just the occasional car. This street behind me also completely empty, and this is actually a neighborhood's corner shop, which is usually crowded with people standing around having something to drink, or buying some chocolate, or having a cigarette, or just, it's usually very buzzing. You know, you always see neighbors and friends hanging around here. As you can see, it wears a very strange closed look. It's already 7 o'clock, so I guess people are starting to close down as per the orders and go indoors. Well, I've pretty much finished my first walk around my neighborhood on the first day, and I'm going to go back up and give you a few of my thoughts as well. So I've just finished my walk, and I'm finally home, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and my impressions on what it felt like to be stepping out of the house after so long. First of all, it felt amazing, like really nice to be actually set free. It was like I was set free from prison or something. Felt nice. It was really strange, overwhelming, lots of emotions to be kind of stepping out of my doorstep and going down. Secondly, it felt really good to see my neighborhood again. A neighborhood, I'm very active in my neighborhood. I love walking. Usually I'm always walking on the streets all the time. It felt very good to be reunited and see those familiar sights. It felt strange to see them without any people and without any life. It was like really seeing a new perspective of my own neighborhood. And most importantly, because there's so few people and so few cars these days, the evening is really beautiful. So the air is much fresher, the sky is cleaner, the trees are looking really good. And yeah, so once I get in, I'm going to run straight in for my shower and take the appropriate precautions. And guys, thank you for joining me on this video. If you've liked it, don't forget to leave me a comment. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Of course, I'll be posting more videos soon. Thank you for joining. I'd love to hear from you, so do leave me a comment, guys.